Today I want to guide us through a few variations of Sun Salutation A or Surya Namaskar. First, we're going to start in our mountain pose. A couple of things I like to point out about this pose is it's an active rest, right? So if you're in a flow class or vinyasa class, it's a moment for you to tune in, take a pause, but your body is fully engaged here. What I mean by that is our feet are really rooting down to the ground beneath you. I like to think about pulling all of the energy into my center, so I visualize energy from the ground up coming to my belly button, and then from my crown down coming to my belly button. The hands can be by the side. I'll turn. So palms can face the thighs or the body, or you can rotate so that the palms face forward. This invites more engagement. Another thing to think about is how the neck and chin are, right? So lift the gaze so that you have some neutrality in the neck, so to speak. Last thing, we've got to think about our joint stacking. So our shoulders stacked over hips, stacked over knees, stacked over ankles here. Let's take a few breaths here together. Perfect. Now we're gonna move towards the ground, okay? So going into a forward fold first. So this hinge is coming from my hip space. Belly connects, I like to connect my belly to thigh. That may or may not happen for you. The arms can hang here. Most instructors will cue crown of the head parallel to the mat. I always like to remind people that you can widen the distance in the feet here to make it more comfy. You can deepen the bend in the knees for more support or comfort as well. So hang out here in your forward fold. I like to think about really inviting heaviness into the feet. Cool. From here, we find halfway lift or Ardha Uttanasana. So many cues, slide the palms up the legs, stopping at the shins, maybe the thighs, or even you can extend the arms long in airplane. Important here is to continue that joint stacking, particularly in the lower body, right? So the hips stacked over the knees. You can keep the bend. Another thing I like to call out here is the space between the top of the shoulders and the ear, the lower earlobe. So I like to say lengthen away, right? And it should be, you could place a plate or something on your spine in this flat back here. Take a pause. From here, we continue our way to the ground. Find your exhale, folding, reach the hands to mat. Step one foot back and then the other. We're in this plank here. Some things I see, we got folks with the booty in the air. You wanna lengthen, so engage the core muscles, firmly press away from the mat. An option here is to always lower the knees if your upper body strength either needs a break or it's not all the way there that you can keep your booty down rather than up in the air. Take a pause here, hug the belly. Then from here, we continue to the ground to our belly down back bend. So first, we don't want to just plop down. And it may look silly, but I see this sometimes in class. Sometimes I do it myself, right? So regardless of which plank variation you're in, if you're high plank, you shift forward, hug the elbows in. We exhale, lower with control, okay? If you are in low plank, it's not as much of a shift, right? So we can still hug the elbows into the ground with control and lower down. Keep the hands where they are, right? Forehead is connected to the ground. Inhale, belly down, back bend, so low cobra. Shoulders still, top of the shoulders, space between them and the ears. Exhale, back down. Then inhale, press back up into your plank variation. And now we make our way to down dog. In this down dog here, hips towards the ceiling, heels towards the ground. Palms, fingertips, press into the mat. You can bend the knees. You can widen the stance. From here, we make our way back to our standing forward fold. So I like to cue gaze forward. The knees aren't bent, bend the knees. And then step as many steps as you need. Find your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then roll up. And we're back in our mountain. So now we're gonna put it all together, okay? A couple of things to think about. Your breath, right? You can hear I'm a little winded, right? That's okay, it's natural. The pose is to really invite heat into the body so that we can work through. Sometimes we're working through any tension or emotions that we have, or really if we're just there just to move our body, it'll give you that workout that you might be looking for. So now I'm gonna practice more on a fluid breath to movement pose. They're not gonna be as slow as it was when I walked through, but if you wanna move a little slower, feel free. So I'm gonna start in my mountain. Here's my inhale. Sweep the arms above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands on the ground, step one foot back in the other. Plank. For your inhale, shift forward. Hug the elbows in. Exhale, lower with control. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Gear up, inhale. Press yourself up into your plank. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart. And there you have the Sun Salutation A. Thank you.